Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Suffolk, where I'm on the edge of King's Forest in West Stow. So a tiny little village just north of the River Lark, and it sits between Bow St Edmunds and Meindl Hall. And I'm here to do a walk of around 6 kilometres that's going to take me across or along the edge of King's Forest and across the fields over towards Wordwell, which is a deserted medieval village, and there is still a church and a hall there, and this church is pretty old. And then I'm going to go back along the fields, join the River Lark, and then follow that past the church at West Stow. Join the River Lark just after the church, and then return back to the car park at King's Forest. So a nice walk of varying contrast: woodland at the moment, open fields and agricultural land, and river, and a bit of history as well. So we have just arrived here at the Church of All Saints in Wordwell, and this is a gorgeous Grade 1 listed building that dates all the way back to the sort of mid-11th century, so somewhere around the Norman Conquest. Now, the oldest two surviving parts of this building are actually the south and north doorways, which both show significant Saxon influence. Let me show you. So this here is the south doorway, and it's got this gorgeous arch and then some beautiful carvings just below, and then inside the church you've got another. This is the north doorway. Now on the other side it looks very Norman, but actually this is probably, say, Saxo-Norman, and there's some gorgeous carvings as well. It's very plain on the other side. I'll show you that in a moment, but on this side, on the inside, there is this gorgeous decoration. And then this here is the font of the church, and that actually is Norman as well, so that is well over 800 years old. Now most fonts you see in churches are medieval and probably date to the sort of 15th or 16th century, but this one is probably one of the oldest still in use. So I'm just on the north side of the church now, and there is this gorgeously carved late 11th or early 12th century doorway. Now from the other side it had gorgeous carvings on this top section, but on the external side of the door it is just plain, but it still does contain some nice stonework on these two corners. Absolutely gorgeous historic building, but I can feel a bit of a change in the weather. I think it might rain, so I'm going to start darting my way over towards West Stow, have a look at the church over there, and then down towards the river before returning to the car. So we've now arrived here at the Church of St Mary in West Stow, and this is a Grade 2 star listed building, and it's almost as old as the church over in Wordwell. Now this building dates back to the 11th century, but I think it's just ever so slightly later, and a church was recorded here in the Domesday Book. Now if you look at the base of the nave here, this is the south wall. You can make out a much older section of stonework, and then inside the north wall of the nave, there is a beautiful arch, and that is the oldest surviving part of this building, which has been dated to the 11th century. that was a bit rubbish that the footpath was closed. There was a tiny little sign just as you joined the riverbank, and you could easily walk past it, but it was all so overgrown, the trees had fallen on the path, so they need to do some maintenance work. But what I am going to do instead is follow this part of the St Edmund Way round past West Stow Hall, which is a bit of a historic treat that I hadn't planned on seeing today, but the building dates back to the early 16th century, I think. It's sort of 1530, 1520, so it's a Tudor building, and it was once a gatehouse to a once grand manor. Now the manor doesn't exist anymore, and I think it might have been like a fortified manor house, so similar to that of a castle. Now I'm just going to head through this gate, try and do it one-handed. Oh, it's double latched. There we go. So I'll show you the building in just a moment. It is literally just a few hundred metres along the road. And then just after that, I'm going to follow the road and the track back to the car park. So I'm on the final sort of 400 or 500 metres of trackway that's going to lead me back to the Forestry Commission car park. And if you have enjoyed this walk, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, ring the bell to keep up to date with future uploads, and I'll see you next time.